pyramid power and human enslavement. Before viewing this video, please read the following books. Alien Interview by Matilda O'Donnell McElroy. The Giza Power Plant by Christopher Dunn. The Giza Death Star by Joseph P. Farrell, and The Giza Prophecy by Scott Creighton and Gary Osborne. What do the pyramids have to do with human enslavement? Pyramids were, and still are, the cornerstone of every civilization on Earth. No matter what country you live in, they surround you. From the ancient to the most modern, pyramids come in a variety of different shapes and sizes. There are 250 pyramids in China, over 100,000 pyramids in Mesoamerica, and thousands of pyramids all over Europe. In 1998, after 20 years of research, Christopher Dunn wrote The Giza Power Plant. In it, he showed how harmonic resonance was utilized to convert Earth's vibrational energies into electromagnetic radiation. In the Giza Death Star, the pyramids were described as weapons of mass destruction, beaming electromagnetic waves into space. In 2000, a beam of energy blasted from the apex of the Pyramid of the Moon in Teotihuacan, Mexico towards the ionosphere. On July 24, 2009, Hector Salazar photographed a pale pink energy beam emanating from the Pyramid of Kukulkan, at Chichen Itza in Mexico, as a thunderstorm began. In May 2011, Semir Osmanagic had the Pyramid of the Sun in Bosnia tested for ultra and infrasonic emissions. The results proved positive. Schumann frequencies, which are global electromagnetic resonances, excited by lightning discharges in the cavity formed by the Earth's surface and ionosphere, were detected as well. Here are the best-known Schumann frequencies. Notice that the 32 Hz frequency measured in the Pyramid of the Sun in Bosnia is close to the Schumann frequency of 33 Hz. What about the Great Pyramid of Giza? The King's Chamber resonates at 438 Hz. 7.83 Hz multiplied by a factor of 56 octaves equals 438.48 Hz. All pyramids on planet Earth are tuned to Schumann frequencies. So how are pyramids able to beam energy, and receive it from the ionosphere, and for what purpose? Are pyramids simply power plants, or maybe some kind of weapon? Pyramids utilize the four basic elements: air, water, earth, and fire. The Pyramid of Giza, for example, first operated like a giant acoustical instrument, similar to a whistle or recorder. In a recorder, air is compressed into a linear airstream by a channel cut into the fipple, at A. It then travels through the duct to the windway, at B. As it exits, it hits the labium, at C. This causes the air to oscillate with standing waves. In the Pyramid of Giza, air is compressed when water is piped down the entrance passageway, B, towards the lower chambers. As it moves up the Grand Gallery, D, it hits the antechamber, E, and first air shaft. This causes the air in the King's Chamber, F, to oscillate with standing waves. The process of electrolysis begins in the subterranean chamber pit. Hydrogen and oxygen are separated when the magnetic field of one of Earth's grid lines fluxes during the early dawn hours as the sun rises. The Pyramid of Giza was built on top of one of these geomagnetic points to make this decomposition possible. A waterline in the Queen's Chamber passageway indicates how high the water was in the Pyramid of Giza. At this point, oxygen filled up primarily in the Queen's Chamber, while hydrogen filled up the Grand Gallery and King's Chamber. Two types of devices were removed from the Pyramid of Giza. The 28 pair of slots in the Grand Gallery were filled with sheds. More than a symbol, the rectangular bases of these pillars fit into the slots. One type was used in the Grand Gallery while another type was used in the Queen's Chamber. The sheds in the Grand Gallery were similar to Tesla coils. They operated like electrical resonant transformers. Electricity would arc between two sheds and expand upward along the corbelled arch until it hit the ceiling of the Grand Gallery. This photo inside the Grand Gallery seems to show evidence of an electric discharge. Scorch marks seen on the ceiling are a clear indication of electricity strikes. The jet in the Queen's chamber was a receiver for the electricity generated in the Grand Gallery and amplified in the King's chamber. This jet has the ankh symbol with human arms which are holding an orb. In 1970, Ray Brown found such a crystal in a pyramid in the Bermuda Triangle. The crystal he found has magnetic properties. It can repel a coiled stainless steel rod. Since the ions in the crystal are negative, we can assume it would attract positive ions. This is what it was designed to do: pull in positive ions from the ionosphere. Once the receiving jet was placed in the niche of the Queen's chamber, VLF, very low frequency waves were generated. However, this design does not transmit any waves. It only pulls in energy like a tractor beam. This is because the transmitter is inside the pyramid. Because the outer casing of the Pyramid of Giza was covered with white Tura limestone, a perfect insulator, no electricity was released. No one benefited from this electricity. Instead, the pyramid was used as a torsion field generator. A torsion field is a twisting or spiraling force. Here is a view of this force as seen from above. Pyramids can store up to 85% energy. No other shape can achieve this. By utilizing Schumann frequencies and imprisoning this energy from the ionosphere, pyramids are tapping into human unconsciousness. Human thoughts and feelings create torsion waves. Are pyramids tapping into our souls or minds and controlling them? The pineal gland or third eye makes melatonin, a hormone that regulates our sleep cycle. Some call it the seat of the soul. Others feel it allows us a way to enlightenment, or higher states of consciousness. If this gland allows us to connect to the spiritual realm, then why are pyramids imprisoning this energy? Nature seeks balance over any effort to enforce inequality. For example, notice that in the center of this cymatics pattern, both the male triangle and female upside-down triangle counterparts are needed to create balance and well-being. Pyramids symbolize the male energy without the female energy. It thus represents imbalance and is prone to aggression. It is the opposite of what nature strives for: equality. The star tetrahedron has this double duality. It is balanced. This sacred geometry also lies inside the atom. Sacred geometry is a reflection of resonance. Schumann frequencies are the Earth's resonances. They can be made visible with cymatics using a Schumann cavity. Notice the symmetry and perfect balance of the resonance on all sides of the Schumann cavity. When the Earth resonates, it creates geometrical patterns of symmetry. These patterns are standing waves. Where the direction of resonance points up in red or down in blue are called antinodes. However, it is at the nodes where resonance focuses most of its energy. Earth's nodal points have been given many names: vortex points, energy vortices, ley line intersection points, Earth energy grid, and planetary grid. These points are completely natural. However, if you build a pyramid under one of these points, you create an imbalance, like the vile vortices. Newly discovered pyramids have been located at these vile vortices: the Bermuda Triangle, Antarctica, the Pacific Ocean, the South Atlantic anomaly, and the Dragon's Triangle, discovered in 1987. A planet filled with pyramids located at every geomagnetic vortex is a prism planet. Their tractor beams are like electric poles, and the ionosphere is the electric fence or net, designed specifically to capture any spiritual energy trying to leave the planet. For all eternity. How you know you are in a prison? 1. We are born with no memory, which means we are disorientated. 2. Everyone is a stranger on planet Earth. 3. You are given bunkmates, which are your family. 4. We are given a life sentence which lasts for eternity. 5. We are to work every day of our lives. 6. We have a social hierarchy which promotes Darwinism. And 7. We have war, disease and famine which keeps us in a constant state of fear and anger. Think about it.